Like any body part, your shoulders can lag behind relative to others, especially if you've been neglecting them for more popular muscles like chest and arms. Your shoulders are involved in chest, triceps, and even back training, and there's no way you want your delts to be a limiting factor. In this video we explained how 3D shoulder developed, what's the real mechanism behind it. Our shoulders are broken up into three separate heads: the anterior head, the front, the lateral head, the middle, and the posterior head, the rear. While development of the anterior head is certainly important for overall shoulder balance, it actually contributes the least to the appearance of wide, round shoulders, since it sits directly in front of your body and does not pop out as noticeably like the other two heads do. Although an overhead press will stimulate all three heads to some degree, its primary target is the anterior head. You can shift a bit more emphasis onto the lateral head by using dumbbells and by lowering the weights more out to your sides, but nonetheless, the anterior head will always be taking the brunt of the load. If you really want to build 3D delts and achieve that round bouldered look, your primary focus should be on developing the lateral head, with secondary focus on the posterior head. The lateral head is the slab of muscle that hangs directly off the side of your shoulders and contributes the most to that wide, powerful upper body look. The larger the lateral head is, the rounder your delts will appear. The posterior head also plays an important role and lays directly beside the lateral head on the back side of the shoulder. What's the best way to go about targeting these two heads for the very best shoulder gains? Aside from all of the indirect stimulation they'll receive on other big compound exercises, such as overhead presses, bench presses, pull-ups, pull-downs, rows, etc., here are the main movements we suggest focusing on, along with some important form cues for each. Top 3 3D delt exercises. Number 1. Lateral raises. When it comes to effectively targeting the lateral head for bigger, rounder shoulders, a properly executed lateral raise is the main exercise you should be focusing on. This movement can be performed using cables or dumbbells, but if possible we suggest using a cable since it provides a more consistent tension curve throughout the entire range of motion. Dumbbells provide minimal resistance in the bottom half, and is easier on the shoulder joints as well. Lateral raises might seem like a pretty simple exercise at first glance, but there are actually several important form cues you'll want to apply so that other muscles don't take over, such as the front delts, traps, lower back and rotator cuff, and that the lateral head is doing the bulk of the work. Always favor moderate weights and strict form on this exercise. Not only will this allow you to activate the lateral head more effectively, but it will also protect your shoulder joints as well. Trying to heave around very heavy weight using a lot of body momentum puts the rotator cuff under a lot of stress and can easily lead to injury over time. If you don't have access to a cable machine, you can perform dumbbell lateral raises instead. Our two suggested variations are the seated dumbbell lateral raise or inclined bench lateral raise. Give both of these a try and see which one you prefer. Number 2. Face pulls. Face pulls are a less common, but highly effective exercise that should be included as a staple in any well-rounded shoulder workout. Face pulls not only target both the lateral and rear delts for hypertrophy, but they also work the traps, rhomboids and rotator cuffs for improved upper back gains and shoulder health. Face pulls are essentially a horizontal row, but rather than pulling the weight to your waist like you normally would, the resistance is pulled toward your face instead. If you train from home or don't have access to a cable machine with a rope, you can also perform your face pulls using resistance bands. Number 4. Upright rows. When executed properly, the upright row is a great exercise for targeting the lateral head of the shoulder as well as the traps. The safety of upright rows is often called into question, but this is typically only a concern if you perform them incorrectly by using a straight bar and pulling the weight all the way up to your chin. This is how most people perform upright rows, and it places a lot of stress on the shoulder joints by forcing them into a highly internally rotated and horizontally abducted position. This can very easily lead to rotator cuff impingement over the long term, especially if you're performing the movement using heavy weights and a lot of momentum. For safe and effective upright rows that build your shoulders without stressing the joints. We wouldn't consider the upright row to be a must when it comes to building impressive shoulders, but you can treat it as an optional add-on to experiment with. Genetics certainly play a role in determining just how quickly or slowly your shoulders will increase in size, and what the resulting development will look like on your frame, but there's no doubt anyone can build an impressive set of delts with the right approach as long as they're patient and consistent. If you found this video helpful, smash the like button and subscribe for more videos.